This video is brought to you by Law Excellence IAS Academy.
Dear students, good morning. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 23rd September 2019. The first article for discussion, the nationalist hindrance to climatic actions. You know that climate change is a global phenomenon. It is going to affect all of us collectively. It means that we need a global collective action to face this menace. If you are working in silos, or if there is no global collective understanding of this problem, we are expected to fail and we are expected to doom. Today, the nationalistic upsurge is there in every country. Either it is India or it is USA or it is Brazil. Recently, you saw Mr. Bolsonaro in Brazil talking against climate change. He clearly stated that it is hindering the developmental understanding of Brazil. And second, Donald Trump, he has given much impetus to the fossil fuel, saying that American economy needs further growth. So in this case, what India has to do? So today there is one way we are getting the support from. That is from the science. There is a clear evidence that the growing heat wave in Europe and the growing disasters across the world can be connected to climate change. Second is popular mobilization. Especially young population, young scientific community is in support of action against climate change. In this case, developed countries they have technology and finances. Developing countries need them. If developed countries and developing countries can collaborate with each other, the fight against climate change can become much easier. So, in this context, what India has to do? You know that vulnerabilities of India are very high. It's a tropical country. And the second is India can bring together its developmental objective and its fight against climate change together. Simple example is energy efficiency. So, for producing energy, we are dependent on fossil fuels. If we can bring in greater energy efficiency, yes, we can save our energy towards much better developmental objectives and can also achieve strong climate change objectives. And finally, for the developing world, India can take up a leadership role. As many of the people, especially the President of United States and European leadership, everyone are vacating their roles in climate change fight. So India can take up this leadership role to take forward the fight against climate change. The next part, when the pedestal feels like a cage. So, this is about physical disability. Now, when a person is in pain, if you start sympathizing with him, don't think that the pain decreases, it actually aggravates. Now, disabled people, they don't need our sympathies. What the disabled people need is treating them as equally and making them feel that everything is normal with them. In this context, unwanted sympathy or benefits which are being offered to them makes them reminded every day in and day out that they are disabled. In this context, appeasement is creating certain types of stereotypes too. Simple thing. Now let's take reservations are provided to certain community. We see this as appeasement rather than empowerment. So because of this mentality, we develop some stereotypes as they are riding or free riders on the economy, free riders on the opportunities, etc. If this has to go, the disabled shall be seen as equals and they shall be more empowered rather than showing empathy towards them. This is what the article says. The next is local matters. It is about oncoming Maharashtra and Haryana elections. Let us understand something common about these two states, industrialized states in India. There is a lot of migrant labor over there. Obviously, more industrialization and migrant labor, left has to be strong in that state. But left is nowhere visible in both Maharashtra and Haryana. And second significant thing which I observe this is the strong presence of caste. So most of the parties, especially Congress and associated parties, they are stuck with the community, land owning community, which are traditionally strong political communities there. Marathas in Maharashtra, Jats in Haryana. And BJP started working with non-Maratha population, consolidating non-Maratha population and non-Jat population over there. And the third factor is so today the communalization of the polity is clearly seen in these two states. So, in this context, the Maharashtra and Haryana, these elections are to be considered as important for the revival of the left. Though this point is not been stated, these are the two states where class will matter more than the caste if rightly used by the left. Seeking to secure. Now, GST we have started, still it has many teething problems. It is not just the phenomenon of India alone. Across the world, when the tax structure is being consolidated, it took years together to streamline that. In this context, the GST Council of India, it is doing a remarkable job. But however, there are certain fraudulent elements who want to claim input benefits without actually doing any business. In this case, these particular loopholes have to be arrested. In this, what the Goa Conference of GST Council stated, the GST numbers will be address verified and then they will be linked to Aadhaar. In that way, they can identify these fraudulence easily. The importance of labeling hate crimes. Remember, hate speeches, etc., are not free speeches. You cannot support yourself saying that your hate speech is actually a part of your free speech. And second thing, hate speeches are a crime against a community, not a crime against an individual. So that hate speeches cause a long term declination of social fabric. So the social cleavages which are fault lines which it develop are going to be seen in the long term. So that's why it has to be stopped in the early stages. If you take United States, UK, most of the countries have hate crime prevention laws and also they have equality acts prevents any kind of racial slur, hate speeches, etc. And hate crime prevention act it prohibits any kind of crime based on identity of an individual. Punjab, Spain, India's agony, Britain's unrepentance. This is about Jallianwala Bagh, where the peaceful gathering of people in Amritsar was fired by General Dyer. So at that point of time, the Punjab province governor was Dwyer. So Dyer and Dwyer, these are two different names. And third was Chelmsford was the viceroy of India. None of them showed any repentance. And later, the colonialism, whatever the mistakes it conducted, it had made, the present UK government wanted not to take any responsibility to it. So, neither the past leadership or the present leadership, neither the past community or present community of UK took the responsibility for their horrific mistakes. And later, Hunter Commission was appointed on this Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and Hunter Commission also did not find fault with General Dyer. Further to this, any kind of horrific events, if they have to be laid in hierarchical order, Jallianwala Bagh comes first. So, in this case, clearly understand any reapproachment between colonies and then masters erstwhile and present day independent nations, if it has to happen, then first owning the responsibility for historical mistakes is essential. The next is Delhi Dhaka to boost maritime ties. In this context, there is a word which is used that is coastal radar chain network. India is asking Bangladesh to be part of it. Please read on this coastal road radar chain network. Next is India's opportunity at the UN. Prime Minister Modi is going to speak at UN General Assembly, and Pakistan is expected to bring Article 370 and Jammu and Kashmir lockdown at General Assembly. What can be the mode of action for Prime Minister Modi? There are two ways over here. Prime Minister Modi can clearly state that he is going to address the concerns of the international community, especially human rights. And second thing is, India can be seen as a global partner with regard to developmental issues, especially sustainable developmental goals. Indian startup takes center stage. A woman based startup, that is Psycho Onco Solutions, and its owner, Miss Nusrat Sangamitra from Odisha, she got a prize at She Loves Tech, a women entrepreneurship promotional initiative. She Loves Tech. So, in this case, an Indian Psycho Onco Solutions founder, Nusrat Sangamitra, got the award. These are the topics for today, and I think there is one more. Modi Trump, how the Modi issue. There are major issues which have been spelled out there were border security and national security. And Prime Minister Modi repeatedly reiterated about terrorism, pointing the finger towards Pakistan. These are the issues for today. Right. Now, it is the time I shall diversify this particular newspaper analysis. I want to recruit more people to do this newspaper analysis along with me. And I'm going to train them so that this program becomes more continuous and sustainable. Thank you very much. And if you know any names, please, or anyone is interested, they will be trained for the next 3 months, and they can take up various video or online classes to the students. Right, please contribute yourself to it. Thank you very much.